All right. Video 5. Processing. So, processing is a glorious process. It's all in the mixer, kind of. I'm going to change this to extra large so you can see a little better. So, processing is what I live for. Processing is taking a good thing, adding polish to it, and making it a great thing. And you'd be amazed what you can do with it. It's where FL Studio shines above other DAWs, in my opinion, and it's a huge deal. So, a huge part of processing is understanding your mixer and being able to group things together in certain ways and getting your different sounds to interact. The simplest way is already right now, with the way I routed this, every sound ducks to the kick and snare. You can see this if you watch side chain right here. It drops whenever the kick and the snare play. Right? That's the way they interact. And also, if I mute side chain, it mutes everything besides the kick and snare. So everything's grouped into it, or the technical term is bus. The sidechain bus has everything besides the kick and snare. So we're gonna make a different bus for the basses. We're gonna call it the bass bus. So I'm gonna click an empty mixer track, any of these. You know what? Let's use this one because it's unused. And bring this over here. Change the color, make it white, so then it stands out. And I'm also weird. I'm gonna add a separator. Big deal to me. Oh, no. Okay, that worked. So, Space Bus is going to have bass 1, bass 2, bass 3. Then another channel called bass plus sub, also white, is going to have the bass bus and the sub. And this one I'm going to put on the left side by right clicking dock to left. So it's over here. This makes it a little more pronounced or important or something. I don't know. Now, maybe you figured this out already, but there's these little lines and like wires underneath everything on the mixer. This is where that audio is going. So for bass 1, I don't want it to go to sidechain. I want it to go to bass bus. Same thing with bass 2. And same thing with bass 3. So this is easier to see. This little wire is going there. And it's also going there, but don't worry. You know, now these are all going to bass bus. Now bass bus should go to bass plus sub, not sidechain. And bass plus sub is going to go straight out instead of the sidechain. And sub going to go dia. Now, if I hit play, the bass and sub, they're not going to duck to the kick and snare. It's going to sound a little shitty, but I can mute them now. You know, yeah, I can work with them now. Now this is going to be significant when we get into processing. This processing is on each mixer track. So I'm going to process the sub, which I already did, process the bass, each one separately, then process just the basses without the sub, then process the bass and the sub put together. Before I do any of that, I'm just gonna set up sidechain for this real quick. The way you do that is you send. I want it to duck to the kick and snare. Send the kick to it, send the snare to it, and this is the volume. Turn the volume all the way down. So they're not actually sending volume. You can't hear them through here, but the information is getting sent. So now you can add a fruity limiter, do some weird things, and then go to compressor. And it says sidechain. Sidechain basically means duck. Right click, kick. Do some weird shit. Okay, now it's duck into the kick. And do some weird shit. And duck into the snare. Doesn't really need to duck to the snare, but why not? Now, let's process bass 1. Here's how I like to do it. Sometimes, so if you're selecting and you select this top, it'll loop this. Sometimes I do it that way. Sometimes I just start it and stop it. So I'm going to do it this time. So the way I process things, if you can't tell by all these, is I use Fruity Parametric EQ2, Fruity Wave Shaper, and Maximus. In that order every fucking time. The EQ is pretty self-explanatory. The Wave Shaper is not. Maximus is kind of. It's also the most complicated. So start with the EQ. I'll get rid of these. And we'll just EQ this. Okay, so when you use this EQ, right click any of these, type, you have different types. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are peaking. 7 is a high shelf. 1 is a low shelf. I want this to be a high pass, just because that's what I like. And I also like to make it steep 8. And it's a little weird. I just scrolled down and it does this. It's a little nicer. It was there. I like that. I'm weird. I just usually stick this at 30. Can't hear there. Just cleans it up. So there's a lot of advice for EQing out there. I don't know. I do what I do. Sweep, find spots I like, find spots I don't. You know, it's an art. You learn it. Just practice. This next one's Wave Shaper. This is distortion. It's a little weird. Left and right is volume coming in, up and down is volume coming out. So this means it's silent, right? Any volume coming in is the bottom going out. This might hurt your ears if I did it. It's just always max volume. Let's just, yeah, sorry. So I love clicking this point and curving it up. Fantastic effect. It's called soft saturation. Or right click, place a point, and do the same thing. Some word of advice. This is generally not a good idea. Like, do that before you do this. And this is really cool for certain things. It's like a gate. Like, it's too quiet, nothing. And also, this, a straight line, is pretty cool. It does weird shit. So, actually, I like that. It's cool. Just, you know, be creative, come up with some shit. At patterns, you'll find your own. Maximus. God, Maximus, how do I explain this? So, same idea. Volume coming in, volume going out. This also splits into different bands. So what does that mean? On the frequency spectrum, it cuts it into high, mid, and low. And you can look at these bands here. You can adjust them with these two knobs. And if you click this circle, it actually will show this in here. If you don't click it, it doesn't, but it shows that in here. So you can split it into different bands, and then each band has their own one of these. But there's more to it than that. This wave shaper is immediate. This is slower, is I guess how you say it. The way it actually affects the audio is slower, and it's cleaner sounding. It's not meant to distort. Mostly what I do is I use soft saturation in here. So this line says, if this gets above here, cut it. No louder. It's that loud. This does the same thing in the same spot, but it better, in my opinion. So I just crank that, move that down, and now it's doing it. And I also, I'm weird, but I turned the ceiling to minus 0.5 for strange reasons. And do that to all the bands. You don't have to. You can ignore this entirely. It's just the way I like to do it. It's like this. And actually, I saved this. So I just right click at default, and it's the same thing. Except the low. Don't do that with the low. Just don't. It's bad. I forgot that. Now, if I'm trying to be quick, I'll only touch the master, and I'll basically usually do something like this. It just makes it louder. Makes it louder in a transparent way. The other thing, this ceiling, if you look at the space bus on a limiter graph, this is one solid. Okay, this is one solid spot, and this is not. The next base is somewhere else. After this, they're all gonna be at this one solid spot, and that's a big deal. It makes them sound better. They're more coherent. So that's one more thing. It's probably over your head by now, but I'm gonna say this anyways. This knob is your stereo separation. So all the way to the right makes it mono, like right in front of you. All the way to the left, it's all stereo. Now it's in your ears by the side of your head. I sometimes touch it. Generally, you want things to be closer to the middle for in your face sounds and closer to the sides for background noises. That's good enough for this sound. So let's process this one. Let's actually get a better spot. Let's do, yeah, bass 2. So I'm gonna do this faster now, but still explain stuff. So just preemptively filter out the shit. And I love this range up here. I'm almost always boosting it on important sounds. I just love it. Yeah, let's distort it now. And slap a Maximus default. Compress the fuck out of it. Okay, so now if we look at this limiter again, see, now they're both up here. Big deal. Shit. What is this at? Copy that. Paste there. Oops. Yeah, so now they're perfectly at the same spot. Sorry, that was my bad. Don't even worry about it. Let's do bass 3. Find a good yeah, that works. Do the same thing. I will say 500 hertz around here, almost always bad. You clean it up so fast. Cutting it there. I like that. I like that. Okay. So now, if you listen and watch this too, you can see. Oh, you can see these are closer together, more coherent. Same volume. So, I don't know what those weird spikes were. I'm not going to worry about it. I would, but I'm not. So now, I process all of them without the sub. And this is a big deal. So, the sub exists down here. Right? Nothing up here, only down here. It's a little weird to explain, but if you have two sounds down here, they're probably going to cancel each other out and become silence. So we're going to remove that from the basses. That's why we have the sub in the first place, is the sub sounds better down there than these do. So the very first thing I'm going to do, is cut out the low end from it. Cut out the sub. just like this. And this is always tough. It kills the life, but you know, it also makes it clean. Very hard to do. And you'll notice we're in a bus. We're affecting 3 sounds, and any other basses I add later on go through this. So you want to be more subtle. You don't want to be doing drastic changes like we were in here. Like, you don't want this. These are huge. So in here, you'll notice I do more subtle shit. So oh, I totally forgot to mention, if you scroll, that's what does this. It's called the Q. Scroll, mouse wheel. It's amazing. Okay, now we'll distort them, but this is when I use this. Very subtle. And then I'm literally just gonna do this. Nothing else. Now, this is weird, but these 3 things I just did that are hardly doing shit, just tie these together. Like, okay, this is with, yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna A-B it, but it's important. Now, let's do it to the bass with the sub. Again, very subtle, but just another important thing to do. This helps the sub glue to the rest of the sounds. So I basically know what I do here is always this. So yeah, that's processing. I do it to everything. I didn't do it to the hats yet, but you know, I probably will at some point if I work on this. Let's see. You know, from here, there's all types of stuff I do. I love adding ARPs, just tiny little. Take one of these bad boys. Use this shape, slap a filter on it. Ooh. And so, yeah, now that I have this sound, I'm an F. Yeah, just that tells us what key we're in. We're in F minor. And I take it and turn it way the fuck down. give it some reverb. So this. And this is a room. Yeah, something like that. Turn it way down. It just fills in the silence. Oh. Another one. People are dumb. They don't know where you're at. They don't know when something's about to happen or if something just happened. So you gotta tell them. That's why I have effects, and I make a lot of these impacts. Yeah, let's do this one. Just real fast. Effects 1. Oh, whoops. Idiot. Can't even hear it. Another one that's fun is you can take one of these, turn these two off, so it's just this, and make it noise. That's what this dice is. Right, and then this filter. So you're in here, you click this envelope instrument settings. This filter is it does this. It's cooler if it's a band pass. And I fuck with this. This is a super nice sound. So you basically start at the top and just go. And repeat it forever. I can't explain how valuable this is. People need it. You know, it keeps them going. They get bored, but they're like, oh, wait, it's building up. It's building up. It's building up. So, you know, you just feed this thing notes. And automate this right here. And just have it do that. Sorry. So real fast, I'm gonna process sidechain, call it a day, and I hope you learned stuff. So, of course, this is gonna ruin my voice, but the Sausage Fattener, this plugin right here is amazing. I gotta mute myself. So there you go. You know, obviously I can do better in the future, but I hope this helps. I hope these videos continue to help in the future. If you get confused, just keep watching them or something. And yeah, I could even give you this project file if you want, but you probably don't have sausage fat, or probably don't have F metal, and I think that's it. Yeah, cool.